Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, May 1st, 2026. Some will call it May Day. So happy May Day to everybody. It's May 1st, 2026. Like I said, welcome to another round of commonly asked questions by the blind guy, 08. I am going to answer some questions that I commonly get asked when I do school visits. And shout out to the second graders of Tribal School in New Madison here in Dark County, which I visited with them on April 30th to talk to them because they were studying Helen Keller. So one of the school board member, not school board member, but one of the staff members there at the Tribal School asked about if I can come in and talk to the kids because with me being blind and give them some reasons. And those kids had wonderful questions yesterday. And some of them I answered in my first video I did with commonly asked questions, which I may do answer some of those questions again. But I want to thank the Tribal School for allowing me to come in to talk to the second graders again yesterday, as I'm recording this video the day before. It was on April 30th when I went to that school. And thank you guys for allowing me to come in and talk to you guys. But one of the questions I did get asked by the students of the second graders at Tri Village is, how do I drive? Well, the short answer is, I do not drive. Now, I'm going to give a long explanation reason why I don't drive, which the adults would understand more than the second graders would. The reason why I don't drive is, one, it's illegal for me to drive, kind of, because I cannot see, I'm totally blind. And another part is that, yes, they got self-driving cars, but I do not trust those cars yet because they are not fully ready for people who are blind. Because you still need a person behind the wheel to drive the car. So I prefer to have other people drive me around when I go to places, like friends, or family, or my provider. Or when I go to work at my employment where I work at, I take what they call a Greenville Transit System, GTS, here in Dark County. And I will talk about them in another video because about transportation. I will not discuss them right now. But, yeah, those are my methods of getting around. The reason why I don't drive is because I'm totally blind and I don't trust self-driving cars. So I want to thank my family and friends and my awesome provider that helped drive me around and get me to places. And when I go to these school visits, I want to thank my friend Sue, who I interviewed back on April the 9th that you guys saw in a previous video behind the scenes with at Dark County Board of DD with Sue. Go check that video out if you want to know more information on what we do at Dark County Board of DD. But I want to thank my providers. When I go, they can help me get out and do my laundry and groceries. Or family and friends take me out and go places. And transit when I do go to work. I appreciate everybody that drives me around. It helps me be more independent. So another question I got asked, which I would demonstrate in a later video, is how does my cane work? That I use a white cane to get around. Well, my right cane goes side to side, which I think I mentioned earlier in a previous video on commonly asked questions. Well, the cane I use, it has a marshmallow tip on it, and it goes round, it spins as I walk through. So I go side to side with it, and usually I hold it in my right hand because that's my dominant hand, and it protects my right side. But it helps me navigate over bumps, whatnot. It also helps me go up the steps. When I go up the steps, I hold it straight out in front of me and go up like a scale. But when I go down steps, I hold it flat on the step and go down like a slide. That's my best way of describing how I use my cane, which I would demonstrate that in a later video. But also people ask, how do I get around when I'm in a crowded area? If I am with somebody, I use what they call sighted guide, which I will also demonstrate in a later video. But sighted guide is where I hold on to the person's elbow. In my case, I will hold on to them with my left hand, the right arm, while my cane's on my right hand, and protecting me from my right side, and the side guy person helps um, protect me on my left side. And so when I'm either side guy, I hang on to them and I usually stay about a step behind them. And if I'm coming up into like a narrow space, they would put an elbow behind them to tell me to get behind them that we're coming up to a small area. So that's how sighted guy work, which, like I said, I will demonstrate that in a later video. Now, other question I may get, but I kind of want to talk about, is a question a friend of mine brought up to me yesterday. Is, yes, you see me play guitar earlier in my last video when I was paying tribute to the songwriter Don Split. When I was playing guitar back in when let's see, many years ago, a friend of mine, Jason, who was a former teacher of mine, which he will be featured on an upcoming video in the summertime. He was a former teacher of mine, and we are still great friends and everything. But Jason, he taught me how to play the guitar years and years ago, and I still like playing my guitar. But we found out I am best at my box drum, which I may do a video of me doing my box drum. Or in the wintertime, you may see a video of me and Jason playing Christmas tune where I'm on the box drum and he's on his guitar singing. And he's a wonderful singer. So, yeah, Jason had taught me how to play the guitar, and it's awesome. But right now I have like on my guitar I have like a simple button thing. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a training tool to help me so I don't have to hold down the string with my finger. I just hold down the little button that will hold the strings for me, which is so much nicer with my finger kind of being small and I have a hard time holding the strings down so I can play the chord properly. But, and some people also ask, how do I get dressed? Which I demonstrate with my organized, but in my earlier video, I get dressed just like anybody else do. I put with my pants, I put one leg in at a time, then I put the other leg in at a time, and I just put my shirt on over my head like anybody else does. That is how I get dressed, just like anybody else. Yes, people might think we have to do things differently, but no. Yeah, most blind people are able to do things themselves. Yes, there are some people that cannot, that need help when doing getting dressed and whatnot. And another question is, how do I do chores? And my video before, I showed you guys how I clean by doing my dishes. I'm able to do my own dishes by feel. So that's how I'm able to do chores. One way, I also vacuum, and I can also clean the restroom. I just go by feel. But I also have like my provider that comes in and help me deep clean, make sure I didn't miss anything. And I enjoy doing these things, these videos. I enjoy talking to kids and public speaking. I appreciate everybody asking me wonderful questions when I go on these school visits. And thank you guys. I might have some more commonly asked questions later on. But if I think of some more questions, you might see round 3. Which obviously there will be a round 3 because I will kind of keep reminding of people that I am so similar to rest y'all who are able to see. And I will also be talking with people with other disabilities in upcoming videos. And to tease, I have a good friend of mine coming in about a couple weeks to do a video. So you guys will look forward to seeing that video and seeing her talents and having her talk about her disability. That's my friend Katie. And turns out we are third cousins. So you will see a picture of my friend Katie and cousin in about 2 weeks' time. And she will give you all the questions she get asked. She will answer all the questions she get asked when we go to school visit as well. And she's an amazing singer, and she does voice acting. Not acting, but she can do voices, like SpongeBob and etc. So I hope you all enjoy this brief video of commonly asked questions. Like I said, stay tuned. I will have some more videos in the future, and I will demonstrate some of the things I talked about today. Thank you, and God bless.